All right, welcome back to the G.T.O podcast, episode 21. I'm working on my German. I'm Marc Anthony Davis.
I'm Sam.
Yeah, you're very confident today, I hear. And today, before we get on to the news and all the things we want to talk about, all the zesty topics that we want to talk about, we want to talk about what we've been playing. So, what have you been playing lately, Sam?
I've been playing a lot of Mountain Blade and Sleep. It's this great new game I found that you just close your eyes and let go. It's the best game I've ever played.
I've been having a lot of nightmares lately about school shootings.
That's terrible. But I'd say y'all deserve it.
I had a nightmare about the school getting robbed, and they robbed me of all my bus tokens because I had nothing else to offer. But anyway, that's moving out of dark recesses of my mind. I'm playing a lot of Pokemon Coliseum. I did the 100 battle challenge, and I got a Ho-Oh, so that's good. Besides that, I've been playing Pokemon Ruby, Pokemon Shuffle on the phone. It's basically Candy Crush with Pokemon.
Yeah, I know what Pokemon Shuffle is.
And I need to go play Summon Night because
I need to finish playing Summon Night.
Yeah, I'm about like 5 hours in, but I just don't feel like switching cartridges. Anyway, that's about what I play. I'm continually playing Clash of Clans, which I probably will keep playing for the rest of my life because the game will never end.
It'll end eventually. Support will stop. Servers will be shut down.
Oh yeah, that'll be the apocalypse.
You just gotta hope it's after you've moved on to a better game.
I'm addicted. Every day, every couple hours, I gotta go in and get my fix.
That's sad.
Anyways, besides playing games, I'm playing the game of life, Sam. And we'll talk about that a little later.
Wow.
Alright.
You have a life?
Anyways.
I'm sorry, you're just here on a Saturday.
Oculus pulls VR support from Samsung, for Samsung phones in particular, because they've been blowing up in people's face. Well, blowing up in general, but it could blow up in your face if you had a strap.
No, only the first series blew up. The rest just lit on fire. It's a bit of a difference.
Yeah, that's the question I was going to ask. To what extent are the explosions? But to get on with the story, Samsung phones have been, like you said, catching on fire and blowing up. Similarly to how the batteries, because batteries in the hoverboard, yeah, last Christmas.
Yeah, if you leave them charging, or even if you're just like sitting there.
And it's been happening in Note 7 and S7 in particular. And what phone do you have? You have a Samsung phone?
I have a Samsung Moto G, I think it's called.
Oh, that's definitely going to explode right now. So anyway, I guess this is another reason to get an iPhone.
No.
The beautiful iPhone. It's so secure, but it sucks so much. Anyway, Oculus is pulling support because it's just not safe. They don't want to associate VR with something dangerous as this potentially can be. So, what do you think about this? You think this was the right thing to do for Oculus?
No. Why? Well, I don't think it was the wrong thing to do. There was no right thing to do in this situation. That's just what they wanted to do. I would have done the same if I were in them, if I were in their shoes. But it would have just been a momentary halt. It wouldn't have been a complete removal. Like, if they go back to it eventually, I'll be okay with that. But if they don't go back, I'll still not care, because if I'm going to get VR, I'm not going to get it from my phone. I'm going to get it for the PlayStation VR or whatever.
So where would they go now, in terms of putting VR on a phone? What will be the other suitors if it's not Samsung? Or are they just going to wait until Samsung gets their stuff together?
I don't know. They could do the Google phone, the HTC, whatever.
But don't they have their own VR?
Oh yeah, Google. Yeah, they've got the cardboard.
Yes.
Google Cardboard. But that's not its own thing. I don't think that's just the system. It's not a. I don't know if they develop it all themselves. But I wouldn't know. I haven't studied it.
Yeah.
Because I don't care.
I mean, they just put games and stuff on, so they just pull all the games off, and if you bought VR games, you get your refund back. Similarly, if you want to get money back, I know you got a PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
PlayStation 3s can now file claims in a class action suit because for security reasons. I'm not entirely sure how this is working, but basically, if you got a PS3 and you bought the original one, Before 2010, you could get yourself $55 if you claim a class action suit on their website.
64 actually.
Oh, they changed it. 64.
You get 9 for if you bought the PS3, but then 55 if you actually installed Linux.
Mm-hmm. So what? I read it like 3 times, and I still don't get what the problem is. What's the breach of the warranty? Because that's what it boils down to.
People are saying that by removing the support for something that they advertised, that they're false advertising because they no longer support the thing, and then two, they're breaching warranty because they're removing a part of the product that was protected under warranty, but is now like, I guess some people had their systems turn into bricks that way. I don't know what exactly they're trying to justify, but that's basically it.
So did you buy yours before this date? Like, will you be eligible to get this?
I can't remember.
Oh, you should just go find out. $64. You know what you could do with $64?
It's not going to be worth. I wouldn't get 64 because I didn't install Linux on it.
Oh, okay.
I just get 9, which would barely be like the paperwork that it would take. Like $64 isn't enough to like find out if you deserve this, and then to go through all the steps to actually get it. You'd barely break even.
But you gotta pay money to find out if you could make money?
Well, a lot of people would, because if people just like did it and then were like, oh no, you don't get it, that's like, okay. But some people would be like, hey, can you they'd call up a lawyer or a friend that is studying law and would be like, can you tell me if I get this? I don't know, it's not worth it. It's only $64.
Alright. But if you as money hungry as me, claimants must submit claim forms on the settlement website in addition to a proof of purchase for the PS3 Plus as a PlayStation Network ID used on the PS3 before the date April 1, 2010. 2010.
Yeah.
Alright? The deadline to claim this is December 7th of this year. So get that money, and remember the deadline is my birthday, December 7th. So go get that money. Steam Link streaming is coming to smart TVs. No box needed, Sam. No box needed for $50. Very affordable. And will you be getting one?
Getting what?
What are you doing?
I was following up on the other story.
Alright, so Steam Link.
Yeah.
You could use it to stream games to your television if you have a smart TV.
Okay.
It costs $50.
Yeah.
And will you be getting one? That's my question.
No.
All right, good discussion. But this reminds me of what's it called? On Live, you stream games.
Yeah, I guess.
When you need very good internet for this to work at all, because it's not. You
need good internet for everything these days.
Nah,
pretty much.
Now you're playing like a single player game, but like if you're playing a multiplayer game, you don't need that good of internet. But you need like internet's not only you're trying to keep up with other people, like you're playing like Battlefield online through your TV. You also need to render those textures on your internet, and that's going to be a heavy workload because that's like a 40 gig plus game. I don't know. It seems troublesome to me. I don't see this ever working, like streaming, unless we all switch to like Google Fiber. Ubiquitously switch to Google Fiber.
Google Fiber's not even available outside of like Kansas City.
I know. It's like in like 2 states, I think.
Topeka. No, it's like just Topeka, Kansas.
Or we switch to Verizon Fios, which
nope.
I was going to do, but I looked at the map and it's like it's almost in every state besides Louisiana and like Alaska and all that. Like we're just out of the range, and it's parts of Louisiana are in there besides like New Orleans. Like what?
That's because we're far south.
Yeah.
Far enough south.
I'm willing to pay for it though. I'm tired of Cox. They suck.
Get rid of Cox.
I have no other choice. They got a monopoly.
Well, they don't.
I mean, the other ones are just as bad. What internet you have?
Cox. But I don't care. I mean, my internet's crap. Like, from this whole, like, half of the house, it's crap.
Like, mine just goes out while I'm using it. Like, I'm on my phone, and if I'm, like, in my room, it'll just cut off, and then I have to walk to it, and so I can get it back on.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
Same.
Last news story that I found interesting. Blizzard announced a couple days ago that Overwatch crossed a new player milestone recently. 20 million people have registered accounts on their game throughout all the consoles and stuff. Which I thought
that's surprising.
I mean, why wouldn't you say that's surprising?
Because there are Okay, if you look at it this way, if everybody that had a PC that could run Overwatch, an Xbox One, or a PS4, then this wouldn't be a problem. Or this would happen a lot sooner, I mean.
What?
Because there are a lot more than 20 million people that play games.
Well, yes, but not every game gets the whole base to...
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that it took this long is cool, but it's not, like, surprising that a lot of people from a very large group could get behind one product.
Oh, yeah.
COD had over 20 million.
And, I mean...
a lot of games have over 20 million units sold. Probably not a lot.
I mean, a lot of games, but you gotta think of all the other millions of games that have been produced. Well, my point was, this is a big thing, even though like it can't compare to like Call of Duty now, because they get like 20 million within like the first month. Let's say.
Exactly. So it's
but it's still, compared to this, like some people, I don't know if you're part of PC Master Race, but some people say like console gamers are like super casual, and Call of Duty is the embodiment of that. But why are you making that face? This is what people think. This is the actual thing. And
sure, but I've never encountered it.
Overwatch, on the other hand, is very strategic, and it's very team oriented. It's like the epitome of PC gaming in people's eyes. And when it's on consoles, and I'm surprised that this many people are playing it because of that reason. Is stuff like this, team oriented stuff like this on console, on the rise? And I thought that was interesting. I think it is. And with this on the rise, does this mean Call of Duty's on the decline even more than it is?
Call of Duty's never going to be on the decline. You've still got like the same few million people that are going to be like, well, I got to play them zombies, got to get the new zombie maps, got to get the new Call of Duty Infinite Warfare 7. We're in space, but space is really a micro-universe created by a big universe thing. It's going to get crazy, but people are still going to play. It'll be around.
I mean, it'll be around for a while, but I don't know if they're going to be doing 28 million, 30 million like they have been doing for like the past decade or whatever. I think it's going to slowly dwindle 10 years from now. Maybe we get that nice Overwatch, the yearly Overwatch, right? No, maybe not.
No, because Overwatch was Overwatch. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the highest selling PlayStation 3 video game of all time. Gran Turismo 5 with 11.94 million copies sold.
Wait. On PlayStation 3?
Yeah.
That's not very much at all.
That is not very much. But GTA San Andreas, 27.5 million.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that game sold more overall, like throughout. That's just on PS3.
That's PS2.
PS2.
Yeah. That's just on one console.
Yeah.
So the fact that it took Overwatch this long on all of the console, all three of the current gen consoles, or whatever you want to call PC, the fact that it took it that long to get that far on three separate consoles is not, it makes it less surprising for me.
No, but I see what you're saying. What I'm saying is that it's growing and it's only going to get bigger. Like this is the sign of this. It's on the rise, I think. Like, you don't get that point. Like, I'm not saying that it's comparable to Call of Duty in terms of like the initial sales, but I think it's just growing.
Yeah, it's growing, but everything grows. Everything that has
that is not true.
Everything that has life grows. You didn't. Minecraft, 24 million copies sold on PC.
You're not proving.
30 million on mobile phone. I'm just saying, games have reached this before. It shouldn't be something that we write articles about on Polygon because they run out of actual news that requires objectivity and journalism.
I mean, that's your opinion.
Polygon.
That is your opinion.
I still hate Polygon.
You want to talk about Gamergate? I know that you got that in your soul. Just tell
I kind of already did.
Tell people why you hate Polygon so much.
It's not that I hate Polygon. It's that my faith in most games journalism has been shaken so deep by finally understanding what Gamergate was. Yeah, I know I'm LTTP, late to the party, but whatever. I don't care anymore.
Why?
I got into it in another video, and a couple people have seen that, so they get it.
you are mad because of Gamergate. What I'm saying, okay, that was a big scandal, right?
Yeah.
But in all other types of journalism, it's all the small things. I think in games it just builds. I'm talking about in other journalism, like sports, for example. When Kevin Durant was in Oklahoma City, people liked him and they kind of guarded him, and they skewed his writing about the team in a certain way. So like they blamed more of the faults of the team on Russell Westbrook, which may have been warranted, may have been not, depending on what season you're talking about. But they definitely skewed things. Like they protected Kevin Durant, and as soon as he left, everything switched. Like this guy is mentally fragile, and like they were just skewering this man.
That's the thing. Regular news, like from CNN and Fox, we expect that to have a political bias associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
Video games and sports aren't really supposed to have that.
But they do, though.
You write about your team, or your genre, or your game, whatever. You write about that. You don't try and get into it with something that you absolutely do not like. You stay away from that. Like this one story. A guy was invited to a rock band launch party, Rock Band 4 or whatever, Rock Band 3. He's like, I'm not a fan of rock band games.
I remember that one.
It's like, dude, if you're not a fan of rock band games, don't write an article about... The article wasn't even about rock band.
It was most about like the experience.
It was about how he didn't like it.
Yeah.
And he was like, but I got to eat like hors d'oeuvres at a rooftop pool party, so get your swag on, guys.
That
It's like, no,
scum.
just stay away from things that you don't like. Don't try and write about something that you're not gonna...
Well, that guy is definitely he is bad. He is not good. But I'm not saying like most people aren't like him. Most people aren't douchebags. Like
Yeah, but a lot of people in games are.
Oh,
A lot of white people are.
What I'm saying is
white people.
Okay, you keep your self-hatred to yourself.
Speaking of our women.
Anyways, what I'm saying is that that's the way you want to be. You want things to be objective, but the way our brain works, like it might not even be intentional. It might just be like our political views, our views about life, or views about anything is gonna leak into everything else. Like, so if I'm writing about a game about like Bayonetta, for example, and I'm really pro-feminist, but I notice that, like, I really love the game though. Me being a feminist and Bayonetta being such a provocative figure is gonna kind of skew the way I write about the game. I'm gonna focus more about the style and Bayonetta herself than the actual gameplay, opposed to me, where I'm not a pro-feminist. So I'm not like a super hardcore feminist, let's say, and I would focus more on the game because that's what I care about. But like our biases are gonna bleed into that no matter what. And I just think what you want is really ideal, and I don't think it's a problem. I think
what I want is people to just contain their biases, and it's possible to contain them and not, or to be upfront about it. Be like, I do not like this thing, but if they're just like, this thing is crap, and here's why, and they don't say, well, I'm biased, so I'm gonna. It's the problem that they aren't telling us the whole truth.
But most of the time, they don't even know what's making them, like, what's giving them that opinion. They don't know what their own biases are most of the time.
Then they need to study themselves before they get into...
Most people aren't self-aware. You should have learned this by now. Most people...
You don't know most people. I don't know most people. We haven't done the studies on this.
But you don't need to do the studies. If you ever walked outside and talked to most people...
Nope. Don't talk to people. People are crap. I avoid them.
They think they're right most of the time, and they just think they're right. They think they're the heroes in this story when there is no hero, and this is not really a story. They like, everyone has those biases, and they don't know what's making them this way. They're conditioned, self or by the media or otherwise. I'm just saying that's the way you want it, but it can never be that way because people are not self-aware. It's the hardest trick to come by. I mean, you notice it. Anyways, enough of that discussion. I think it's time for a break. Let things simmer down. Take the pot off the boiling stove. So we'll be right back to listen to some other 3 music. Tragic. No. What's it called? Unfounded Revenge. So there you go. You could look that up on YouTube once to it later. But anyway, we'll be right back. Alright, we're back from our break. We're ready to talk about the movie of the week, Snakes on the Plane. One of the greatest movies in 2006. thriller action. If you haven't watched it, so can you please put the phone down?
I can't. I'm doing this for the people.
You have 23 other hours in the day to do this.
I don't. Not when you're here.
All right. Well, anyways, the plot fill any spaces for me, but basically there is some killer of some sort that has has a gang, and he got witnessed killing somebody, like beating him in the head with a baseball. So baseball bat. Yeah. And the witness flees the situation, is hunted down to be killed. But then our good old boy Samuel Jackson saves the day, saves the boy and starts interrogating him. And basically, they try to get away to go to a court hearing so he can testify against the murderer, so he put him in jail. But I forgot I think his name was Kim something. And so Eddie Kim. And Eddie Kim, the villain here, he put snakes on the plane.
Or he had someone put.
Yeah, he had somebody put snakes on the plane that they're going to. They're going to fly on to go back to Los Angeles, where the court hearing was being held.
From Honolulu to Los Angeles, over the Pacific.
Mm-hmm. But these snakes were just not any natural snakes, though. These snakes from highly venomous snakes from all over the world, actually. Yep. And what they did was, I thought.
They sprayed the lays with a pheromone.
Yeah, I thought it was really smart. Another smart thing.
That's incredibly stupid.
Why that's stupid?
I mean, it's a good idea, but if you just wanted to kill Sean, that would be terrible.
Why?
Because then you wouldn't guarantee that just he died, and you'd be on the hook for all of these murders.
Yeah, that's the problem that he came in with. Because if one person survives that plane flight, you're still going to jail for the rest of your life. But like you said, Sean is the guy who witnessed the stuff. That's what he's trying to kill. So they sprayed the thing down pheromone. So when they smelt it, because they didn't put the lays on the people, on the passengers, because that's what you do when you're in Hawaii, I guess.
Yeah, when you're leaving Hawaii. Yeah.
So they all got lays. So as soon as the flight took off, they were smelling come attack him, which happened. What happened from there? The snakes basically just started killing people.
They killed a pilot after knocking out the avionics or whatever. Mm-hmm. They destroyed the systems in the plane.
Yeah.
Slowly, and then started killing everybody. And then everybody that got to the front, they decided to put up a wall of luggage.
Yeah.
The snakes could get through that. I mean, they were crawling.
They
were crawling around the inside of a plane. I'm pretty sure they could find a way to get through the cracks in a sleeping bag.
Yes, but you're panicking. You're just trying to stay alive. You have nothing better.
No, I'm just surprised the snakes didn't kill all of them. That's how I would have had it go down.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Everybody's dead
as well. You go on a flight for 6 hours trying to avoid these gigantic snakes. I don't know how you lived, but anyways, I really like the death scenes in this. What was the first one is when the two people were having sex in the bathroom. And they got bit, and then the flight attendants thought that they were going going hard, but no, they're actually dying pretty bad in there. And,
yeah.
Next one was the guy was peeing and he got his penis bit.
And he was even oh my! It's okay, that's a line that was said.
That was great. That's a great. That should be a meme. Well, it's I really what I noticed before we get back to the summer, the plot, the characters that were introduced. I really liked them. What do you thought about the characters?
I don't know. I mean, I saw it late last night, midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of just went through my head, but it was interesting. Sean was there.
Yeah, let's say that he was the object of all of this. He was pretty much a flat character until you get to the last 7 minutes, and when he says, "Remember the words you first told me? Yeah, now you're gonna follow my direction or something." And then they go surfing, happily ever after with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
But I feel maybe that's the weakest point though. But I don't feel it was jarring because he wasn't that bad. But I feel most of the characters.
No, I mean Samuel Jackson was probably supposed to be the star, so he was.
He was the star in my eyes.
Yeah.
But I really whatever Kenan Thompson's character was. I liked him because he got the flight. Did you get that far when he landed a plane?
Yeah. but I was watching it cut, I think, so I didn't get like all of it. I might not have gotten all of it.
Yeah, I really.
That was only like a minute for me.
Before we get to that, was towards the end. So basically, people are dying, and then they're trying to stave off deaths for most of these passengers, and apparently like 50 of them die, but most of them, they don't matter. They're not.
Yeah, but all but like 10 of them, not 10. There were like 20 or so that made it to the back. That made it to the front.
Yeah, so they're trying to stave off death with all these, like, eventually the power goes out, the air conditioner goes out, like, as time goes on, less and less of the plane can be inhabited because it's just over encumbered by snakes. I just like that. As a kid, I like it, and I thought I wasn't gonna like it on the second time around after not watching it for a couple of years, but I actually genuinely like this movie. And then it has like the famous line, "I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane." And then it's just great. It's just fantastic.
That line was a lot weirder. Like, it wasn't as dramatic when I heard it from the higher pitch sped up. It was like, okay, that's not threatening or dramatic or inspiring.
And then I guess to skip ahead a little bit. I mean, some of the main characters die, but I'm not gonna spoil that. But eventually,
everybody dies.
Well, eventually everyone does. That is true.
The plane crashes. Everybody just.
That is not true. This is a happy ending. Anyway, Kenan Thompson's character.
Happy.
He was. They were asked. The people in the plane were asked, who has any experience flying a plane. He was like, well, his friend. What was the rapper name?
3G?
3G, yeah.
Or 3Gs or something.
That was a futuristic internet back then, 3Gs.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm like, man, you play that flying game like over 2,000 hours. You should be able to do this.
It's like, oh, totally, yeah, that's same thing.
And then he eventually, like, the people that were running the plane didn't realize that they were talking about a video game that he had over 2,000 hours on. So as soon as he started flying, like, everything was going well. And then he was like, do you really know how to, like, what's your experience? Like, yeah, I played a flight simulator all the time on PlayStation 2. I'm pretty good at it, but my brother has the high score. I'm like, God, you're not even the best in your house. You can't fly this plane. And watching it the first time as a kid, I'm like, oh my God, they're all gonna die.
I mean, they didn't. So
they didn't. But that was really funny. It's like, I like movies. This is like a lot more softer movie than Pulp Fiction, but they both like traffic and dark humor, which I love. So like, yeah, I love that. In the end, they land the plane safely. Well, they land.
Land is a
they landed
relative term.
Yeah, and I mean, all's well that ends well. I guess 50 people might have died, and all your friends and family. But some of them survived. The main characters survived. That's all that matters. Samuel is still here with us.
Yeah.
But the last scene though, I thought that was a plot twist where what's the guy's name? The main character, Sean, right?
Sean.
Yeah, he had the snake bite him on the chest. I'm like, oh no! And then out of nowhere, Samuel just pulled out his gun and shoots him twice in the chest. I'm like, what are you doing? Was he inside this whole time? But no, he knew he had a bulletproof vest on, which I thought was pretty prudent. So he shot the snake off, but also didn't kill him at the same time. I'm like, wow! Even to the very end, I was still hooked. So that's basically the plot. And afterwards, they go surfing together, and the movie's over. Yeah. They ride off to the sunset, literally. But what do you think about it past the summary of the story?
It was good. I don't know if I'd watch it. It's not something I'd rewatch like multiple times. I might watch it occasionally, but I'm not going to go out of my way to do that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how this got a 5.6 on IMDb. Like, I don't feel like this is a bad movie in any way. I mean, it might not be like the one of the classics maybe, but I feel like this is like, if I were to rate it with a number, I guess like a solid like 7.5 to 8 range. Like, this is definitely a C type movie. But like, I know people might not be on high on it as I am, but there's like no flaws. There's no like jarring flaws from like any sense in my eyes, especially for 2006. Because I know one thing that people might criticize is special effects.
Yeah.
But it's 2006. Like, the Transformers, the first modern Transformers movie came out, and I would say this is definitely on par with that. And they relied way more heavily on special effects than this movie. And I just don't feel like it's that big of a problem to give this a 5.6. I don't know. I'm kind of offended. I really like that movie, but But I never got bored watching this. Like, there was no lull in the action. The characters are great, like I said. I really liked them.
Yeah, it actually got, like, right into it.
Yeah, I got right into it, and that's what I like.
30 minutes in, and we're already on the plane. The snakes have been introduced.
Yeah, everything's already there. You know all the background of the characters, because they do everything real quick. Whoever's the director of this movie, can you look that up for me? Who's the director of this movie?
Just keep...
Yeah, whoever did it, like, does a fantastic job. Like, this is a quick movie. It's under 2 hours as well, and you just got the whole narrative of the story and got attached to these characters as well.
David R. Ellis.
What's his other work? Is he like mainstream?
Final Destination 2,
I love
Shark
those
Night.
movies. So, like, it's not extremely popular, but I like the Final Destination series. Also, a lot of dark humor in that as well. But
humor.
I mean, all right. Anyways, you really like. I think it's a real talent to get attached to somebody in such a limited time, and you want to know more about the characters. I feel, well, at least me. The way I feel about it, I want to know more about Officer Flynn and his ally. I forgot his name, but
the one who died like 45 minutes into
the halfway point of the movie, not even. But it, like, in many ways, this reminds me of like a light version of Pulp Fiction, and here's why. I feel like if we got, because in both stories there were characters that I really liked, and in both stories the characters were either underexposed or died too early. So it reminds me of Jules and Vincent from Pulp Fiction, but like maybe not. The other guy wasn't nearly as charismatic as John Travolta. Obviously, kind of died too early.
Because John Travolta's definitely the picture of charisma, guys.
Well, in that movie he was. I looked at his other stuff.
Sure.
Like, there's no.
I guess he's kind of tainted my vision of him then, but he's not.
Why?
Right now?
What you don't like about him?
He's just so weird. In his movies, it's just like, dude, calm down. Please.
I just don't. I haven't watched anything that's not Pulp Fiction.
Hairspray.
Yeah, I thought it was Grease. Is that not the same?
He was in Grease, but he was also in Hairspray. He was a cross-dresser in Hairspray.
Nice. That's pretty weird. Progressive. Pretty progressive.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. He just looks weird.
But anyways,
weird look about it. And he was in Bolt.
Oh, that's that movie with the dog.
Yeah.
I liked that movie as a kid. Is that the next movie of the week? No,
because it has to be one of the. It has to be starring.
I picked. I got a few. Anyways, everything for the most part was pretty tight. My final thoughts are that the movie is pretty much structurally perfect, but that's different from like giving the movie a 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna go on that limb because I know no one's gonna agree with me. But I think
cinematically a 10 out of 10, but not like crap. What's the word? Anyway.
Like, critically reviewed is obviously not a 10 out of 10. It's probably half of that in critics' eyes, but the action, the action was great. The characters were great. The deaths were funny, and like the whole thing just pulled me through. Like, I didn't even realize I was sitting down for 2 hours watching this movie. Like, there was no point where I had to pause the movie to do something else. I was like captivated, and some YouTube videos don't captivate me for 10 minutes, and this was able to do it for an hour 55. But that's all you can ask from an action movie or any movie in general. So that's just how I feel. You got any final thoughts on this movie?
No, I have trouble staying awake for exciting movies. Like Transformers 4, the one with Mark Wahlberg. I fell asleep. There was a lot happening.
Well, wasn't that movie like 3 hours long?
I can't remember. But still, it's an exciting movie, right? Just visually, because it's loud. Mm-hmm. It's certainly not something that like would put most people to sleep, but I can't stay awake through action movies.
I mean, you actually go to the movies and watch them?
Not the Transformers movies. No, I would never support Michael Bay in such a way.
Why? What's wrong with Michael Bay?
Because he's an idiot. I have problems with a lot of people. I like to live in my little bubble.
I see that. It wasn't that a movie about a boy in a boat that John Travolta was in?
What?
Never mind. I gotta look that up. I gotta check my sources. But anyway, the next movie will be determined by these 5 all-stars of the movie. So I picked the 5 best actors, I thought.
Yeah, the boy in the plastic bubble.
Was he in that?
Yeah, he was.
Yes,
he was the boy.
He was the boy.
That's a cube, though. That's a cube. Anyway.
So Samuel Jackson, obviously the real MVP of this. So So Samuel Jackson, Kenan Thompson, Nathan Phillips, which was Sean, Juliana Margiles was the
Flight attendant.
the flight attendant with brown hair.
Yeah.
Rachel Blanchard was the blonde flight attendant. All right. Samuel Jackson. The other movie that I thought was interesting that I haven't watched or heard of was Jackie Brown. It's a.
Is that the one where he's in a wheelchair?
I don't know. I never heard of this movie, but it looked interesting. So you can look that up. Kenan Thompson was, he was pretty good. I thought he was funny in his limited time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know you might not like this, but we gotta watch Good Burger if we gonna think of any.
Oh yeah, that was definitely my first choice.
Yeah, if we're gonna take any Kenan Thompson movie, we gotta watch Good Burger. Nathan Phillips, he was in These Final Hours. None of his movies that he ever been in has been mainstream, but
Of course not.
this seemed like the one that I could like handle the most because it's post-apocalypse. So I mean, that sounds like an interesting thing. Juliana Margiles, the man from the Elysian Fields.
Yeah. She wouldn't. No, I wouldn't watch that.
I'm
But
not-
yeah, this is.
We're not.
That's Jackie. He's in the wheelchair. Pretty sure.
Yeah. So and Rachel Blanchard, Road Trip, which is a Tim Green special.
Wow, I don't know what that means.
It's a comedian. I'm pretty sure it's a Tom Green, but I heard pretty mixed stuff on him, but I'm interested on his comedic stylings.
Oh, I've seen parts of that.
So what would you want to watch out of all of these 5?
Oh. I was hoping to force you to sit through one of the Star Wars prequels with Samuel L. Jackson.
He was in. Well, it wasn't in his like Google repertoire that they showed me.
No, I mean, yeah, I would never do that to a close friend.
All right.
Or even an acquaintance.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know, you pick. I picked last time.
Personally, if I, just to watch it and like enjoy the movie, I would pick Good Burger. But there's no one else in that movie, so like,
no,
there's no one else in that movie. I mean, I also said that last week about this movie, but they end up having some people in it. But I don't know. I mean, I watch Good Burger. I think I'm gonna laugh.
All right.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's that long. I think it's under 2 hours. So
It's under 2 hours. It's on Netflix.
So we're all good.
Yeah.
So it's determined. Good Burger it is. So watch that between now and then. If you want to watch along with us and post stuff in the comments about your opinions, we'll read them. Anyways, let's move on to some controversial stuff. Let's put that pot back on the hot boiling oven and talk about Donald Trump's comments. You watched the video or listened to the audio of this, of the 2005 Access Hollywood bus?
No, because I like to keep my insides inside of me, and that would make me throw up.
Oh,
Probably kill a man.
I see what you did there. So basically, he was talking.
What did I do there?
Well, you can't talk about. You can't have your inner thoughts, your stream of consciousness going right now. I'm trying to kind of have a conversation. Anyway,
I see what you did there, and I didn't do anything there.
Never mind. But anyway, he was basically talking to Billy Bush was his name about these women that he was meeting that they'll like let him do anything, like they'll grab him by their vagina.
Because he's famous.
Yeah, well, because he's rich and famous basically, and they let him grab him by. He would grab them by their genitals, which I don't know how would you do that, but I'm not gonna ask any questions. Why would anyone want to get like think about that? Donald Trump grabbing somebody by their genitalia, that is jarring.
It is now. I mean, it probably was then. But
No, I'm talking like. Wait, what do you mean? It's always is. Donald Trump is not a very like attractive looking guy.
Like, back in the day when he was actually like relevant, then it might have been a little different for some people.
No, I'm not talking about in terms of controversy thing. People didn't know about this, I guess, right?
No, of course not. For us, they wouldn't have made a big deal about it being news now.
Yes. So I mean, basically, just some would say objectify women. But in class on the past weekend in my AP government class, we had a discussion about these comments, and what came up is one thing that came up is the treatment of women in America. I forgot. I really wanted to bring up some of the other points, but I'm really blanking on them right now.
Okay.
But
talking about what your government teacher said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have that.
All right, so so let me tell people about that. So my AP government teacher is I don't know if I should disclose his name.
Don't disclose his name.
But he had some controversial comments. Well, one comment about Hillary Clinton.
It was either about Hillary Clinton or Ken Bone.
Well, it had to be about Hillary Clinton because the women were all mad about it. It was
okay. He made a comment about Ken Bone, and that's the only one that I can see. So either he deleted the one about Hillary, or people misinterpreted what he was saying, or he just
because he talked about it in class. He was talking about class, definitely about Hillary Clinton.
Okay, well then he
probably did. He just deleted it.
Deleted it.
So people, there was an uproar.
He knows what he did was wrong.
This last week, but all the women, like the feminist groups and all that, they're like, "Well, why are you saying these things about her?" But before we get into like the backlash, I guess, can you read what you got from your information?
This is from a good friend,
Benjamin. Yes.
Okay. So he was having a debate in his AP Gov class, and the day before he posted on Facebook that Hillary dresses like a character out of Willy Wonka, which is apparently an insult. I guess. I mean, it could just mean they dress well, because Willy Wonka dressed pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
He then took a lot of heat for that, of course. So during the debate in this class, he was trying to justify his post. But the way he was doing that was just yelling at the students, not having a healthy debate.
That was before my class, though. So that wasn't in mine. I had that experience.
Two of his classes.
Yeah.
Whatever classes he had. He wouldn't let his students make any comments to, like, have an actual debate.
Mm-hmm.
Is there... Yeah, he just loudly talked over them. And then he had an open meeting with two other social studies teachers at Franklin, so he could, quote-unquote, learn from his mistake. And then that meeting was, like, yesterday.
Yeah.
At lunch. And apparently, that didn't help because he was talking over the female teacher that was there.
Yep.
And wasn't talking over the male teacher. Which, even if you don't like somebody, even if it has nothing to do with their gender or whatever, you just let them talk. Don't talk over people. But a lot of people, like you said, they made this a sexist thing. At least the first thing with Hillary. Which, knowing baby guns... Okay, I'm going to have to bleep that out. Knowing this teacher, it is not that surprising that they're considering this a sexist thing, because he's done some pretty... He's kind of been... He hasn't endeared himself to the student population.
And when it comes to me and him, I'm kind of out of the loop. The only times I'm really exposed to him is when I go to his class and what I hear in passing. Because, I'm not checking for Mr. Gonzalez. Frankly, I don't care what he thinks. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. He has a Facebook and all that. He's out there. Like, you don't have to worry about this. He's not living a private life at this point, obviously.
No, but we didn't want to call attention to it.
I mean...
Don't want to incite those YouTube heroes, I mean. I didn't say YouTube harassers. You misheard me.
Well, from my experience is that from me dealing with him alone, nothing else from anyone telling him, he seems more like an average guy, he doesn't seem like a bad person. He seems more like just, I don't know, kind of like abrasive, I guess.
Yeah.
Because in class, we try to have discussions, about like the stuff we read in the textbook, I guess. He talks over people so they can stop talking, and I kind of like think it's awkward, but I see where he's coming from. Like,
sometimes you have to do that. Like if you're trying to maintain order, I understand.
But he always tries to maintain order because he's always trying to get the class done really early, trying to push the message. He doesn't want to go on these tangents, which is very easy to do when you're talking about government, because everyone has all these opinions. And I can see him getting tired with that, but he does it a little too often, I guess. But besides that, he just seemed like just an average guy, and people, I think, in class don't like him because he plays devil advocate a lot. because
you need to do as a teacher when no one else is doing it.
Because everyone at the school pretty much is a Democrat and is liberal and is like pro-progression and all that.
Pro-progression.
Yeah, pro-progressive.
See progressive.
Whatever, like we pro-progress or
There's
whatever.
some pretty regressive left people there, probably.
I mean, like all 5 of them there, like what do they call the Young Republicans
No,
Club?
regressive left is different from being a Republican, but I'll get into that in a Tuesday video.
All right. And anyways, I just don't. Well, let's go back to what Trump said, or not even at all. I'm just gonna ask this question: what does it mean to actually be objectified? Because with what happened at school, and it's what happened around the media, I think we use objectified in America a little too loosely, and we're kind of losing the meaning behind that word. Ever so slightly. So first, can you define what you think objection is as what people view it as in America?
Okay, is it what I think it is or what people think it is?
What you think it is, and then what people think it is.
The way I interpret it is looking at people not for their personality or for anything about them that makes them human, but just treating them as a thing that you can use to get a certain reaction or response or stimuli.
Alright, so what do most people think then? What do most people think objection is?
Probably something similar to that, but usually they use it in a sexual sense.
Yeah, usually used in a sexual sense, which I really...
You're one to talk. We had a rant a couple weeks ago about girls shouldn't wear short shorts.
That wasn't even the rant though. That wasn't even the
That
rant.
was pretty much your rant. Yeah.
No, the rant is if you wanted to get
dressed for other people.
If you want to get a certain response, and if you want to look like an attractive person, you want to dress a certain...
If you want to look like an attractive person. Dude, you realize what you're saying, right?
What?
You're kind of being a hypocrite.
How am I being a hypocrite?
That's pretty much what a lot of people think objectification of women is.
But I'm not saying that about women. I'm saying about everyone.
So you're treating everybody like an object.
They're not all objects, though. They have personalities. We're not talking about that.
But you're not admitting that. You're saying if you want to be attractive, you need to dress this way. And
I'm not
that's
saying
the problem.
I'm not saying you dress this way. I'm just saying there's things that you don't do. There's a whole industry saying
people can be so the industry.
No,
you're speaking for the industry?
No, stop.
Or the industry speaking for you?
No, you need to stop. I didn't finish my sentence. There's a whole industry.
Yeah,
it's called the fashion industry that people buy into so they could look attractive.
And I think people look attractive wearing ratty sweatpants and like sweatshirts.
All right.
So it's subjective, and you're trying to make it this objective thing. Like you need to not do this or do this. And then that's the only way you can be attractive. I'm
not saying there's only one way, but there's definitely ways that you don't. There's definitely ways that you will go unnoticed, and that people will think that you're dirty. Like you can't be walking around any type of way. And like
you can do what you want.
I mean, yes,
women,
technically,
you're beautiful. You're beautiful
technically,
no matter what. Don't let Mark.
But I'm not talking about just women though. Why you gotta make it?
Men, you're beautiful too.
But you could talk. I mean. That's a totally different thing. Of course, you could do whatever you want. You can murder people, but I mean, doesn't mean you should. And I mean, you could dress any type of way. Doesn't mean you should. Doesn't mean that you don't get the response that you want.
Why shouldn't you?
Why shouldn't you? Okay, this is why I wouldn't do that. I want people to think that I dress nice, that I dress pretty. That
good for you.
Oh, stop being a dick and just listen for a second. You don't have a point.
You're saying I want people to think I dress this way. Good for you. Why should other people listen to how you think they should dress?
But listen, okay, most people. Okay, please. Are you not listening? I'm not saying.
I'm not talking. I'm letting you answer the question that I asked.
All right, stop talking. Let me explain this. So, if you want to get a certain response, whatever that response is, you need to dress accordingly. That's basically the point. So, if you want to come off as a bum. Right? All right, you got that? So you go to school with looking like a bum, looking dirty with your nasty clothes, smelling like a bum. If you want to portray a grunge look to attract a grunge crowd, or you dress like that. If you want to
look like a bum,
you look like somebody been sleeping under the bridge. That's a look.
You know, those people can clean up nicely, right? They're still bums.
Oh, technically
they look nice.
Technically they can.
They wear suits.
I mean, okay.
And they have hair cuts and stuff. So looking like a bum is just looking like anybody. Anybody can look like a bum, so to speak, because anybody can look like anything, really. Anybody can dress any way they want.
Yes, that's the point. But people don't think like that. People don't think like that. You could dress any way you want, because that's the point. Even though I'm a low income house and I'm like borderline like lower middle class, I dress in such a way that you wouldn't know that, and that's the point. You want to look above your ranking or above your place in society. You want to look like you're more than what people would think that you were otherwise. That's the point. The point is to elicit a higher response and a more positive response. If you want that, if you don't care what other people think, of course you could dress whatever way you want. And I don't think that could be contested as much as any way you want it to be. Like, if you want a certain response, you're going to do certain things to get that response. And that be dressing better. I'm not saying, like, if you want to dress whatever you want, but just be prepared to get whatever response warrants that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying if you want a certain thing, you gotta do a certain thing. I don't think that's wild. Because it's not. It's not objectifying anyone. It's just that if you want something.
The original thing you said. These women here wearing short shorts.
And I told you that was just the example for that day. That made me think about it.
And that's still objectifying women.
I'm not objectifying.
A lot of people's definitions.
How is that I'm not. Those women are not objects to me though. They just made me notice that those women had that
not
on.
Consciously.
What are you?
Everything gets to be subconscious these days. People are going to look at things. Well, you're not trying to objectify women. No one's going to say, "Yeah, I'm trying to objectify women." But people are still going to interpret it that way.
So I could never analyze how anyone dressed because I'm objectifying them.
You can, but people.
But how do I do it then? How do I do it then?
Don't react like you aren't expecting people to hate you for it. People are going to. You're going to get hate for everything.
But you making it seem like my point's not clear though. So what is the dispute then? If you get what I'm saying, I don't see what the dispute is.
Because people are going to interpret it as a different way.
I don't care how people think. I want to know what Sam thinks.
What I think is you need to just let people. Don't say you need to do this or you should do this. Just let people do what they want. The way you're saying it, the way you said it at that time, the way I interpreted what you said at that time was certain people shouldn't wear this because it doesn't look good to me. It doesn't please me. And that's that's what I don't like, is that you're saying people with this certain look shouldn't expose the way they look. They should dress to please me and themselves, even if that does not overlap at all.
Mm-hmm. So my point is, I was trying to make the same point then, but I didn't articulate myself that well, I guess, because you kind of, when we did that video, then you kind of jarred me in how the reaction was, because I didn't know what I was saying would be that bad. But my point is if you're a man, woman, Pikachu, whatever way you dress is going to elicit a certain response, all right? And if you want a certain response, being whatever it is, sexual or otherwise, or you want people to laugh at your shirt, you want people to think your shirt's pretty, or you want people to think that you're from a certain crowd or you're a certain type of person, you want to dress a certain way. And I think that's fine. And I really cannot make it any simpler than that. And I use the example with the women I saw that day because as a teenage boy, that a heterosexual boy, I tend to look at women. And when I looked at them, I noticed that they're all wearing the same thing. And it's like, they're all wearing the same thing. And I just noticed that, like, why are they dressing like this? And, like, I'm not saying what they did is particularly wrong. It's that, I don't know what they're going for. Because they all seem like they're going for the same thing. And I don't know what that is. But if they all were trying to go for attractive, maybe they shouldn't have went with running shorts. If they're going for comfortable, for example, that's perfect for them. And I was going for comfortable, so I was wearing shorts like I am right now. I'm not trying to attract anyone. I'm not trying to elicit a response. So I'm dressing the way I want to. So
what you just said, if they wanted to go for an attractive response, they shouldn't have worn running shorts. That's what you said, right?
For me, yeah. For me personally. For me, maybe people like looking at that. But I know I'm different from everyone else. But maybe most people like that.
So you're supposed to know what you want? You're supposed to know what response you're going to get from everything?
You gotta know how you look.
And they probably do. Which is why they look like they do.
Well, alright then.
So then what does that have to do with you? How do you factor into this equation at all? If they don't know you, they've never seen you.
For me,
why should they put any stock in what you think they should look like?
Because what I'm thinking is I'm not the only one that thinks like this, and I'm not the only one with this opinion. So maybe if you were trying to attract a certain person like this, maybe you dress like that. Like you dress around the people like the way your company wants you to dress, or the way like you dress for like the occasion. Like that's what I would see it as.
Okay, dressing for the occasion. So they're sitting in a testing room for like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Wearing shorts for comfort.
Yeah. So that's what they're going for. And they
said that they shouldn't.
I'm saying they shouldn't do it outside. Like, you want me to keep like or going even further? Like, it was fine for there. Like, I'm just saying. I noticed that, and I thought it was just funny. I thought it was just funny that it all went. It was like a uniform almost. It wasn't meant to be like this large standing thing about like getting into politics and all that. It was just like a joke. It was meant to be like something really funny and short. Like everyone were wearing running shorts with flip flops with a sweatshirt on. Like it was supposed to be that. I wasn't trying to make some large political statement about how everyone should like dress a certain way. Because I mean, frankly, you really want to know. Most people don't like dress noticeably, and I kind of most of the time you just don't notice, and you can take that for wherever you want. And I'm not gonna say I don't care, but it doesn't matter. It matters for like first impressions. I would say the way you dress, but as you go on, it might not matter as much. If you're like it just doesn't matter as much. I'm just saying that's just one aspect to a whole person that you want to be. But the way you walk out the house does matter.
Why does it matter?
Because the way you present yourself, it doesn't only it's not only about being attractive. It's how you think about yourself. If you go to some party, right, and some people are wearing like a nice little, like maybe like a little suit jacket and some dress pants, and you come in there with a shorts and t-shirt, like. Or just like some clothes that don't fit you. I guess that'd be better. Like clothes that don't fit you. Like you showing everyone that you don't care really how you look, or you don't know how you look really, and you don't care about your image. And if you don't care about your image, why would you care about me?
But why should people in general care about how they look when they're going out of the house? How they're presented?
Why they should care?
Should they only care when they're going to a business meeting or something? Should they only care under certain
I'm not
circumstances?
saying that.
Why should they care all of the time? If they're just going down to the corner store to pick up eggs, why should they care what they look like? They're going to be outside for like 10 minutes.
That's the point. The point is that it's up to you to be discerning enough to know when to do things. It's that little thing called life. You got to know how to have judgment at certain times and make the right decision for you.
Why are we having this? Why did you start this conversation if all you needed to say was it's up to you to decide when you want to dress a certain way? If that's all that you were getting at.
That was all you're getting at.
Then why didn't you just start with that, and then it would have been done, and it would have been clear, and I wouldn't have cared, because I agree with you, but that's not the way you said it. That's not the way I interpreted it. That's probably not the way a lot of our viewers interpreted it.
I just feel like you're being wildly pedantic.
My lord. Maybe I'm being pedantic. But maybe this is what you need if you're going to be a public figure, like running a YouTube channel.
Alright.
You need to care about these sorts of things if you don't want people to hate you.
Alright. Well, I guess we could not talk about Trump then. We could have another break. We could listen to some tragic reconstruction from Mother 3. Back from that break that we had. For the last segment here, we're going to talk about what's happening in our lives. I got a couple topics written down, but first, I just want to ask you what you've been doing, how you doing, how you feeling, and what's coming up next in your life.
Well, right now my brother and I are working on a YouTube project that's going to get him some constitutional law points.
Oh, for class? Oh.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
That'll be coming out around Thanksgiving.
All right. Well, what you been doing like this past week?
School and scripting for that project.
So, one of my topics written down here is happiness. Are you happy right now? Or this past week?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Fair.
What?
Happy is a fair word.
So you rated on 1 to 5. 5 being the most, 1 being the least. What would you be?
3.
Well, alright. Well, I say I was pretty happy this week. Everything's pretty much going pretty good for me besides this, besides Thursday, I would guess, which we can get into later. And what I've been doing is, like grinding out schoolwork and just having fun. It's been pretty dense of a week. But I don't know where to start exactly. So, the workload has been picking up lately, and I know it's going to get this hot and heavy. In terms of senior year, I thought it was going to be a breeze. Is it a breeze for you?
No, not really.
Well, it's been a breeze for me, I would say. So I had like a couple of tests this week, but I didn't do too good on. Doesn't really matter though. I got the progress report this week. Don't want to brag or nothing. I got a 3.6 on my progress report. Not gonna brag or nothing. But I've been doing, my grades been doing good. Work's been fine. Relationships though. I think we want to talk about that girl again. You have any questions about that girl we want to talk about?
How's it going with her?
I think it's getting better, but I don't know where it's going. Recently, she followed me on. Oh no, I can't talk about that. Never mind.
What'd she follow you on?
On Instagram and Snapchat.
Okay, why couldn't you talk about that?
Because I'm gonna post a picture about this on here. What if she looks? Whatever. But we're gonna have to skip that whole thing. All right.
Nope.
Damn it. But my outlook is looking pretty good right now because everything's going fine. I'm pretty positive right now. But I've been working towards something. I'm trying to become a better athlete. So I've been like trying to dunk the ball and stuff. So I'm practicing. I got the tennis ball. I've been dunking the tennis ball, doing that pretty consistently with my right hand. And then I graduated to pine cones. I've been dunking those pine cones with one hand. I really can't do my left hand, just my right. And then yesterday I graduated again to the vaunted volleyball. And now I'm dunking volleyballs pretty consistently with ease. I've been dunking so hard though, I cut my finger open. Got like big gash here. I could feel my post through this hole in my finger. Like you could see all the stuff inside my finger. It's pretty nasty, but it's pretty, like, it feels great to like having a goal and accomplish it. Because I've been like trying to, like, you know, like video games, they give you like, they might have like a stat board, like kill this many people with this gun, let's say. Like I've been trying to make those type of goals with me. Like you seen last year when you was at school, I had those daily quests that I do. It kind of like gamifying life. Like, do you do that as well? Like you set goals for you to like achieve like short-term goals like that?
No, not really.
Well, I think I think you should do that. It really enhances your life because it's like giving yourself that burst of success every so often, even though like the big success might be way down the road. Like I might not be able to dunk a ball till like a full-size basketball until like December, but until then I could like dunk other type of stuff leading up to that point, like a football I did one time. I don't know. I think you should actually do that. Would you do that? No, I recommended that. I think it's a very good way to do things.
Yeah, I'd give it a shot if I knew how to break it down.
All right. Like, what's some of your goals?
Big goals right now.
Yeah, your big goals. Speak up a little bit. You seem tired.
Big goals right now, just to get out of high school.
There's no way you gamify that one. Man, I noticed something as well. There's a lot of negativity around. I don't know if it's just high school or just teenagers in general. It seems like everyone they're just angry for some reason to say that we have it so well. Like they're always complaining about all this work and stuff, but we had more work in the past, and like what'd you expect? Like you could not sign up for this class, or like everyone's like, oh, I'm just gonna kill myself. Like what?
Or you don't know that they could have not signed up for it though.
Well, yeah, whatever. But there's like, I don't know. You signed up for this, you know what you're getting. There's no point complaining every day about this teacher. This teacher's horrible. Like no, you just.
No, I was told art history last year would be an easy class with no work. It was an easy class, but there was definitely no work. So you can go in there with a false sense.
Well, yeah, you get up with a false sense. I'm talking about like in a core class. Like you know, in science class, we gonna do packets and stuff. We gonna do work online. We gotta take tests. You know the stuff is coming. And I just don't. We always act like we always play so coy, like we don't know what's about to happen. Like we know there's work. Like this is a school, one of the best schools in the nation. Like we know we're about to get. It's not gonna be easy. I don't know. I just think it's really odd that everyone is be so negative. And people think when they see me and I react to like failure and stuff, like why are you so nonchalant with everything? I'm like, for one, I'm expecting this. Like I know I didn't do my homework. I didn't do my homework on purpose so I could do other stuff. Anyways, like, do you ever notice that like people are just so negative?
Yeah, get used to it though.
I don't like it. Why can't people be happy? I can be happy like me.
Happiness doesn't last.
I mean, nothing ever lasts. So why their anger does?
Sadness can last. It's easier to make sadness last than happiness last.
I guess if you want to wallow in it. But anyways, I'm trying to also in an effort to make myself a better athlete, I'm trying to lose them lbs, some more of them lbs. I'm trying to get down to 215, so I could look like a Kawhi Leonard, or maybe somebody that's a little skinnier than that. I think he's 240, but anyway. So far, right now my weight is a solid 255, which is a lot of pride for me. So I'm trying to lose a lot of weight, so I can get the math on my side, get higher vertical and all that, so I can dunk stuff.
He's 230.
230, alright. Anyways, and I've been running a lot so I could like get my heart rate down. Because a little known fact is, the lower your heart rate is, the healthier you are. That's not a little known fact, but by the way. But anyway, like I read that, and like lower your heart rate is, the longer you will live. And so and the more you run, the lower it gets. So I've been running a mile lately. So what do you usually run a mile, even though you might not done it in a while?
11-12 minutes.
11-12 minutes. Are you one of those people that walk the mile?
I walk like a lap.
Alright.
When I'm getting like halfway through and I'm about to die.
Alright. Well, recently I did 9 minutes 10 seconds, which is almost close to my high score. Me again, gamifying life. My high score is 8 minutes 45 seconds, which I felt awesome that day. Like that's like the greatest feeling I ever had in my life, and like I had that last year at PE. It was like the best feeling I ever had. It was like having an ultimate goal and like surpassing it almost. It was like getting like a shiny Pokemon, or like maxing out a gun, or leveling up a player all the way. It just felt great. So besides like in terms of healthy living, I've been like cutting calories super hard. So I'm eating like 1,400 calories every day. I made it so I would lose 3.5 pounds per week. So by December, I would lose like about like 30 something pounds, and I'll be like a totally different person by then. But so do you like keep track of your diet? Because I keep track of everything I do, exercise, everything.
No, I don't keep track.
I wonder. I guess most people don't, because it's very easy for me to like get out of hand. Like either not eating enough, or eating way too much, or not exercising enough, or exercising too much. Like the other day I exercised way like too much for like what I was eating that day, because I only had like a couple slices of pizza, and that's all I had. And I like played like a basketball game for an hour, ran a mile and all this stuff. I don't know. I thought it was interesting that like all this, how I gamify life. But I think you should actually do it. You should get into it. I think everyone should. Because if you incentivize every little thing you do, you'll be a lot happier. And also a thing that makes you happy is your expectation. So would you say you have high or low expectations generally? Thinking about it?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know, low
saying,
for some things, high for others.
A saying is happiness is a function of expectation. So what I've been doing is just like maybe not lowering it, but parceling out the expectation. So like I would make multiple goals for myself, like I've been saying. But like if you set the bar lower, it's easier to jump over it, obviously, and you'll be more satisfied with it. Because I don't care how high the bar is. If I jumped over it, I'm pretty happy. I'd rather jump over a foot high bar than crash and miss on a 10-foot high bar, right? So I'm like, I think I like it opened my eyes, and ever since then, I've been a lot happier this year. And like the only thing that I have high expectations for is like having a girlfriend, I guess. But like I know these things take time or whatever, but it's a hard way to quantify progress when you're talking about a human interaction, right? Because you don't always know where the other person stands, because unless you're really close to them, they're not transparent, which could be frustrating sometimes. But anyways, you have any experience with that, or
with what, having high expectations for women?
Yeah, even though you wouldn't put the same expectations on yourself.
Yeah, probably. I just reach out of my league a lot, all the time. So.
But who would that be though? Like you say, reach out of your league. Who would that be?
I don't know. People that are just generally considered out of my league.
I don't like this whole.
Whether it's standard beauty or personality or grades, whatever. They're probably up there.
I didn't know there was a caste system at this school, but alright. I never thought of it in that way, people being out of my league, because I feel I could get anyone I want besides the people I want, which is sad. Anyways, I guess that's about it. Any final thoughts on the day?
Didn't you say you were going to talk about something?
Talk about what?
Previously? Snapchat?
No, I don't want to talk about it because she knows.
She knows what?
Well, she will know because I'm going to post a picture of us.
She knows about this?
She will know eventually.
Want me to invite her to the Facebook page?
No. Stop it, alright? Man, you could either go one or two ways. Like, like back in like elementary school, you tell somebody you like them, and they're like, ew! But I don't know.
They didn't say ew, they said that's sexual assault, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's something different. You can't whip your...
No, I just said, I like you, and it's like, oh, nope, that's sexual assault. Like,
you showed them your willy and didn't...
I was in the 3rd grade. I said, hi, I like you, and then they're like, rapist? I'm like, okay, I don't know what that word means, but I swear that was all I did.
Are you serious?
Yes. I just said, hi, I like you. Which, I wasn't expecting to go anywhere from there, because...
You're in 3rd grade, you don't know what to do next.
3rd grade.
All I remember from 3rd grade is people peeing themselves and getting into fights.
I used to pee myself a lot. I did not have control of my bladder, so when they told me I couldn't go, I would... Like, if you tell a student they can't go, you're just like, okay, they'll hold it in for like 20 minutes or whatever, and then they can go after class. But no, if you told me I couldn't go, I would go right then and there.
These teachers never learn, because I remember in 3rd grade and even 4th grade, these people are, like, even all the way to 6th grade, people are doing it on themselves in class. Like, not even just number 1, I'm talking about number 2. Like you could, why are you doing it to these children? Just let them go. Your class is not this important. In 5 years from now, we're gonna be in high school, and none of this information is gonna matter. Oh, another thing, I had to write a timeline of my life, and one thing that came up is in 8th grade, I had a teacher. She didn't know what war profiteering was. I thought that was interesting. I taught her about war profiteering. He said, "No, it doesn't exist. Going to war doesn't benefit anyone." Yeah, you're right. You know a lot of things about politics. Anyways. So that's about it.
How's it going with this girl?
Stop. We're not talking about this. I'll talk about it next week. First. No, but I forgot. I didn't mean to, actually. I didn't mean to. Right. It was a mistake. But anyways, that's about it. We're gonna keep on 2 weeks from now. We're gonna talk about Summer Night and our thoughts about it after playing it. You gotta get on that. We're gonna watch Good Burger this week. We're gonna talk about that next week. Gonna be great. And we're gonna talk about whatever next week. So come back if you liked it. We got a Facebook, a Twitter, a Patreon, all that good stuff. Comment, rate, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.